I want to say something real quick before Roger gets up here. I'll show y'all a picture. It's hung on my wall for 15 years right here. I don't know if y'all can see it, but that's that goofy looking guy right there is Roger Springer. And that guy with the high-waisted pants is me. I don't know why my pants are so high in that picture, but anyway, this was in 92, I guess, wasn't it, Roger? We were both new artists, and this hung on my office wall at the house for, I don't know, 10 or 12 years, and I had no idea who it was. And I walked into a co-write, I don't know, about 10 years ago, and Roger was one of them. And by God, you're hanging on my wall at the office. I knew who he was, I knew his songs, and but new artists don't talk to each other. That's just the way it is, because we think we're better than everybody else. So Roger wouldn't talk to me that night. He gave me the cold shoulder. But the first time we wrote, we became really good friends, been friends ever since. And Roger is probably the best naturally gifted country songwriter I've ever worked with. And he's a great storyteller. And one of the funniest people. If you read our text, you would think we hated each other, but I respect him so much, a big fan of his writing, and I'm honored to get to call him a friend of mine now, and I'll bring him up, Roger Springer.
I tell you what, thank you, Michael. And, that same picture hung on my wall for years, too, and I didn't know who Michael was. And we ended up in a writer's room together, and about halfway, we still didn't know who each other was, and about halfway through, he said, "You're that goofy sucker with a cowboy hat hanging in my picture in the house." I said, "Well, I appreciate it, Michael." I tell you something, I'm really glad to be here. This is like a family reunion to me. I'm seeing all the people that I love, people I grew up with. I feel like I grew up on Music Row, and Steve Leslie and Robert Arthur and Carson Chamberlain and new friends here, White McCubbin. It's an honor to be here with y'all. Frank, Jerry Kay, my Kim. Glad to be here. And I tell you, I want to say one more thing before we get started here. For people who hadn't been in this town very long, if you've only been here 10 years or less, I would like to tell you that this instrument over here is called a fiddle. And back here behind me, this blue-looking machine back here, that's a steel guitar. And they are, to me, the heart and soul of country music. And I'll tell you something, I picked this first song to do because one of the greatest experiences of my life when I moved here from Oklahoma 27 years ago was that I saw musicians play like I had never seen anybody play. They didn't raise y'all up where I came from, and we didn't have that kind. But you're going to hear what country music sounds like and what it's supposed to sound like, in my humble opinion. So these guys here, we're gonna let them do their things, and I tell you, it's an honor to be here with y'all, and I appreciate you being here. Warren, thank you. All right, guys, we're gonna do a little song called "Roly Poly." Daddy's little fatty, I bet he's gonna be a man someday. He can eat an apple pie and never even bat an eye. Likes everything from soup to hay. Hey, roly-poly, Daddy's little fatty, I bet he's gonna be a man someday.
beans and taters 20 times a day. Yeah, roly-poly, gnawing on a biscuit. I bet he's gonna be a man someday. He can be an apple pie and never even bat an eye. Likes everything from soup to hay. Hey, roly-poly, daddy's little fatty. I bet he's gonna be a man someday. All right, boys.
There's so much talent in this town. I mean, it's there's no place else in the world that you can come. The guys that were up here before are so new they don't have a name yet, but they were incredible, great singers. And I love that. I hope they let me name them. I tell you, this next song we're going to do is a song, got a special friend here in the audience, White McCubbin is here with us, and Miss Holly's there next to him. White come out to Oklahoma to visit us, I don't know, about a year ago, and me and my buddy Greg Stonecipher had started a song, and we'd got stuck on it just a little bit, and White walked in and said, hey, we got this, and White said, well, I can fix that for you real quick. And he did. And that's what, you know, Nashville is a town of co-writers, and it's a wonderful thing when you can get in and go in with people more talented than yourself, and they make you look good. So thank you, White. A song called Good Beer's Better.
Well, she left me a note, that's all she wrote. That's when all our dreams and plans went up in smoke. So I got me a beer and my old lawn chair, and did the very thing that drove her on down the road. Heaven knows I didn't mean to upset her. Love is good, but good beer's better. I know I'm gonna miss her from time to time, but when I do, I can drink her off my mind. If I didn't have all these tops to pop, I just might go and get her. Love is good, but good beer's better. 6-pack of cans I stoned down. The radio in my front yard, sitting on the ground. That girl hates me, the neighbors do too, cause I'm a turn it up, chug-a-lugging, tall boy, drinking fool. Guess I'll sit here all night trying to forget her, cause love is good, but good beer's better. Well, I know I'm gonna miss her from time to time, but when I do, I can drink her off my mind. If I didn't have all these tops to pop, I just might go and get her. Love is good, but good beer's better. If I didn't have all these tops to pop, I just might go and get her. Love is good, but good beer's better. Yeah, love is good, but good beer's better. That's right.
Thank you so much. I don't believe all that now. I do. Songwriters lie a lot and make up stuff that you don't need to follow. This next song we're going to do is one of my favorite songs. It was a single for Sammy Kershaw, and it's a lot of history right here in this room because you write songs and you hope somebody finds them, you hope that somebody loves them and puts them on a record. And I wrote this song with Skip Ewing. It was called Matches, and Carson Chamberlain was the first one who heard the song and put it on hold, and he's responsible for it being on the radio, and I appreciate that, Carson, very much. And it's one of my favorite songs that I've been a part of writing, and the song went to like, I think 17 is where it got to on the charts, and so it wasn't the biggest hit, but it's one of my favorite songs, and Sammy sung it better than anybody else could, so here it is. It's called Matches.
We met at the Broken Spoke restaurant lounge. I lit your cigarette and you wrote your number down on the inside of a matchbook that was laying on the bar, and a fire started burning somewhere in my heart. Well, I didn't see it coming. Guess I didn't read the signs. I just never thought you'd leave me after all this time. But today when I came home, my key was hollow in the door. There was nothing but a worn out book of matches on the floor. You took the bed, you took the dishes and the car, and you broke my trust. You took advantage of my heart and left me here with empty rooms, with walls, with holes and scars and scratches. And if I find the strength to burn your memory down, at least you left the matches. The color's old and faded, the cover's worn and stained, but I can still make out the numbers and the heart beside your name. Until tonight they'd only lit a single cigarette. Now one by one I'm striking them to help me to forget. And everybody at the Broken Spoke, they all thought my crazy story was a joke. Now they're all out in the parking lot staring at the smoke. You took the bed, you took the dishes and the car, and you broke my trust. You took advantage of my heart and left me here with empty rooms, with walls, with holes, scars and scratches. I found the strength to burn your memories down. At least you left the matches. Baby, all this patches.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, all my friends and our family are here, and you know what? That's the one thing I love about being in the music business all these years. That it's not just friends; it's family. And I have great respect and great love for my family here. And you know, this family has become my family so much over the years, and I appreciate all of y'all. White McCubbin. I flew up. Me and Miss Kim flew up to Ohio this last summer to visit the McCubbin family and then ride a little bit. And as we was talking about my family members here, y'all know me better than any other family that I have, and it's no secret that throughout my life I have loved the grape juice, a good bottle of beer, a strong whiskey, and it had come the time in my life to start maybe thinking about drinking some tea. You know, when you get older, things don't work like they did when you were younger. So Kim and I had that discussion, and before this trip to Ohio, I made her 30 days on iced tea. But when we got to Ohio, I thought I would let my hair down a little bit. And I did for about 9 hours of catching back up on some good wine. Well, that didn't go over so well that evening, and I knew Kim was really sore at me for that because, you know, as you usually do when you're drinking, you can act like an idiot, and I'm sure I did. But anyway, the next morning, I didn't care much that night. I thought that was the thing to do. But the next morning when I woke up, I thought, you know, that wasn't really good, and I felt really bad, and I knew Kim was mad at me about it. So this is what I love about country music and about country songwriting. The best songs always come from a real place. They come from something real. I mean, either you or your co-writer. It don't have to be about drinking, but it's about life. And that's one thing that country music that I love so much about it. I love to turn on my radio and hear somebody who's going through something I've gone through. And so anyway, White and I were this heavy on our hearts that morning. I know White felt sorry for me for being, you know, his heart went out to me that morning. And this was a good change in my life because we sat down and this was heavy on my mind and White felt it. And we sat down and White and I wrote this song called Just a Man. And that's a special song to me. So, and since that day, it's been 7 months. I've not had a drink since. So, thank you. So anyway, White, thank you for helping me with this song, and I hope I do it justice here.
1, 2, 3.
I see the disappointment in your eyes sometimes. You smell whiskey on my breath and look like you're gonna cry. And you must think that I don't give a damn sometimes, but I do the best I can. Girl, I'm just a man who loves a woman who's better than I am, a man who needs a woman and prays she understands that just because I lose my way sometimes don't mean I don't love you. It means I'm just a man. Every now and then I get it right sometimes. I up your door and see the love back in your eyes. But there's some times when I could really use a friend. I stay strong when I can, but girl, I'm just a man who loves a woman who's better than I am, a man who needs a woman and prays she understands that just because I lose my way sometimes don't mean I don't love you. It means I'm just a man. Who loves a woman who's better than I am, a man who needs a woman and prays she understands that just because I lose my way sometimes don't mean I don't love you. It means I'm just a man.
Thank you much. Thank you, Wyatt. That got me out of trouble, Wyatt, and I appreciate it. Saved the day. I love swing music. I grew up right on the edge of the Red River that splits Oklahoma and Texas. And I love the Texas swing music. And when I moved to town, they said, don't write the swing. Don't do that. That's over. Quit about it. Well, me and my young age and hard-headed, I tried to put one swing song on every demo session I ever did, whether they liked it or they didn't like it. And they didn't like them a lot at first, but I just kept doing it. And they finally just gave up and said, he's going to put a swing song on his sessions. And years into them putting up with the aggravation of that, Mark Chesnutt and I wrote a swing song for his album, and we had it all finished, but it just happened that George Strait was recording an album before Mark did, and he cut it out from under us, and that didn't make us mad. It didn't hurt our feelings at all. So this is a song that was on the Blue Clear Sky album, and me and my buddy Chesnutt wrote it. It's called No One Like You. I've traveled through lots of places, seen lots of folks, lots of faces, even settled down a time or two. Hey, I've worked the farm, I've been to town, guess you could say I've been around, but I ain't never seen no one like you. And I can tell by your smile you don't believe a word I say. You're thinking I'll just stay a while, then be on my way. But girl, I think it's fair to warn you, I done been to California, I ain't never seen no one like you. Well, I knew a girl in Mississippi, had 20 different ways to kiss me, never found a thing she couldn't do. Hey, I even knew some twins in Denver, stayed with them one cold December, but I ain't never seen no one like you. And I can tell by your smile you don't believe a word I say. You're thinking I'll just stay a while, then be on my way. But girl, I think it's fair to warn you, I done been to California, I ain't never seen no one like you.
jumping. I ain't never seen no one like you. And I can tell by your smile you don't believe a word I say. You're thinking I'll just stay a while, then be on my way. But girl, I think it's fair to warn you, I done been to California. I ain't never seen no one like you. Hey now girl, I think it's fair to warn you, I done been to California. I ain't never seen no one like you.
Thank you very much. You know, it ain't easy to play for the most talented people in the world in here. This next song is a song that I'm really proud of. I love this song so much, and I had this idea in my head and didn't really know how to pull it off, and I had a writing appointment with White and Carson Chamberlain. I took this little scrap ideal in there, and we come out with something I'm really proud of. It's a song called Music Man.
It's not just a piece of wood with strings for those who were born to play and sing. It's a window for the soul to see, turn hard living into poetry. It's not just words that rhyme, it's a painting of this world on a canvas in the mind of a music man, trying to understand why we just can't get it right. This always changing crazy life. Love comes along, but damn if I don't wind up alone. Maybe that's just part of a bigger plan for a music man. The next time you turn on your radio, well, turn it on up and listen close. Free advice from a checkered past, well, it'll guide you through wherever you're at. It's not just melodies strung together with a beat. It's the heart you hear and see of a music man, trying to understand why we just can't get it right. This always changing crazy life. Love comes along, but damn if I don't wind up alone. Maybe that's just part of a bigger plan for a music man. Song, and maybe that's just part of a bigger
Thank you. Thank you, boys. I appreciate it. Years ago, I was trying to remember what song. This was maybe 1996 or 7. I had a writing appointment with a guy named Tim Johnson, who was an incredible songwriter and a great friend. And I had this verse started. I didn't have a title for it. I had a verse. And then I walked in, he said, we was talking about what we wanted to write, and we scrambled around there a little bit. And I said, man, I got this verse, but I said, I don't know what it is yet. I don't have a title. He said, well, play it for me. And I pulled out my guitar and I played him this first verse, and he just jumped off the couch. I mean, he loved the verse, and he jumped off the couch, and he said, the title's Thank God for Believers. And we sat down and wrote this song, and it was a number 1 song in about 1997 or 8, I think. And Tim passed away of colon cancer about 4 years ago, 4 or 5. And he was a great guy and a great writer. And, we're losing family members now. And I guess it's, you get this age, it's just inevitable. You're going to lose them. But so much great talent. Daryl Singletary, just one thing after another. But Tim was a great songwriter, so I'm going to do this for him. It's called Thank God for Believers.
Last night I came home again, 3 sheets to the wind, and broke the promise I swore I'd never break. And it came as no surprise to see the hurt in her eyes, or the Bible on the table where she prayed. This time I thought for sure that she was good as gone, but she just wiped her tears away and put some coffee on. And I don't know why she even hangs around after all the hell I put her through and the times I've let her down. She has more faith in me than anyone has ever found. Heaven knows how much I need her. Thank God for believers. She says, boy, I still love you. She's stronger than the 90 proof that I've sent coursing through my veins. She said, don't give up the fight. Before long you'll get it right. I wish to God that I could feel the same. Sunday morning here beside her in the pew, through bloodshot eyes I tried to see her point of view. And I don't know why she even hangs around after all the hell I put her through and the times I've let her down. She has more faith in me than anyone has ever found. Heaven knows how much I need her. Thank God for believers. Heaven knows how much I need her. Thank God for believers.
Thank you very much. Thank y'all. Back years ago, don't seem like it can pass that fast, but your time goes by pretty quick. Back in 1996, Mark Chesnutt was getting ready to cut a greatest hits album. And the greatest hits album is the album you wanted to have the new song on because you knew you were going to have the single. So Steve Leslie and I, we had sat down together and walked in a room one day and wrote this song called Let It Rain, and it was on hold. It was already on hold for the greatest hits album, and they cut it, and we had a nice hit out of that. Thank you, Steve. And so I knew I had one song on the greatest hits, and I wasn't trying to be greedy, but I thought if I had one, I'd sure like to have two. There was only two songs on the greatest hits album, new ones. Well, so Mark and I was talking about it, and he said, and they already had the up-tempo song picked. So it was going to be mine and Steve's Let It Rain, and they already had an up-tempo song. So Mark come to me and he talked about it. He said, we have a Cajun song that we're going to cut. And he said, man, I wish we could write a Cajun song. And I said, man, I've never written a Cajun song before. I don't even know anything about it. He said, well, it's easy. It's just, Well, that kind of stuck in my head. That's all I had to go by was what he said. So Mark and I sat down and we wrote this song, and we went and demoed it, and it was right at the last second. The 11th hour plus. Matter of fact, we didn't take the demo in to play Tony Brown, who was cutting the Greatest Hits album. We took it in the day that they were recording. We walked in, Mark had it in his hand. And he said, Tony, Roger and I wrote another song that we want to play for you. And maybe we could cut this one instead of the other tempo. And I just sat down on the couch and tried to become invisible. I really didn't even want to be there. But I was there, and so he put Tony Brown put this song in the player there, and he played it. And when it got done, Tony said, nah, I like the other one better. And I just wilted, I said, well, that's the end of that. And so they went in and they started recording this other song, and they cut it, and they cut it, and they cut it. About 2 hours they played it. Finally, Mark come out of the booth and there where he was singing, and he told Tony, he said, that song's just not feeling good to me. And Tony said, well, let's cut it. It's a little too late. So that's how this song come to be. And it was my first number one as a songwriter. And then Steve and I had the second single that was a hit. It was a top 5 hit, I think. And so anyway, this is a little too late. And I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. It means so much to me to see y'all here. I love all of y'all. So.
Kind of man she needed me to be. And she made a list and laid it there beside me on the bed. Now what I should have done keeps running through my head. Oh, I should have done this and I should have done that. Should have been there if she'd have never left. Should have been hanging on every word she ever had to say. But it's a little too late, she's a little too gone. A little too right, I'm a little too wrong. Right now would be the time to change, but it's a little too late. Last night I came home at 3:15, and to my surprise she wasn't mad at me. I thought she finally realized not to worry, I'd be home. Then I realized this morning she was gone. Oh, I should have done this and I should have done that. Should have been there, then she'd have never left. Should have been hanging on every word she ever had to say. But it's a little too late, she's a little too gone. She's a little too right, I'm a little too wrong. It's a little too late, she's a little too gone. She's a little too right, I'm a little too wrong. Right now would be the time to change, but it's a little too late. Right now would be the time to change, but it's a little too late.
Thank you very much. Thank all of y'all for coming. Thank you.